Welcome to my 2026 entire vintage Louis Vuitton collection. Guys, I haven't done a video like this since 2023, so that was 3 years ago. So in this collection video, I'm going to show you 20 bags, 4 pairs of shoes, 1 LSLG, and 1 piece of clothing. So that's 26 pieces altogether. And guys, every bag that I'm going to show you today, I will link down below each handbag's dedicated review, unboxing, or try on video. Now you guys know me. Love Louis Vuitton, I love vintage, and I love saving money. So of course, most of my collection is going to be vintage Louis Vuitton bags that are the luxury alternative to some of Louis Vuitton's most popular current bags, because you know me, I love the look for less. So in this video, I'm going to show you every single bag that I own. I'll tell you how much I paid for it at the time, what year the bag is from. Now for all the bags that are luxury dupes of current popular bags, I'll show you the price comparison, pictures of the bags side by side, and I'll also give you mod shots of my bags too. So let's get started. The Pochette Metis. This is a staple of the Louis Vuitton house, and I've got 2 dupes for this bag. So the Pochette Metis is currently $2,840 US, whereas I have these, which are the Louis Vuitton vintage Monceaus, and I got both of these for approximately $500 US. So that's approximately an 80% discount by buying these instead of the Pochette Metis. So if we look at them side by side, so they both have that sort of satchel-y shape. Now the Monceau is a more older style, so it is a bit more square compared to the Pochette Metis. Now they both do have this S-lock front, but the Monceau does not have a back pocket. Both of these bags are leather lined, unlike the Pochette Metis, which is fabric lined. And just like the Pochette Metis, these can be worn as a shoulder bag or as a crossbody bag. Now they have a shorter top handle, so you can't really wear it on the crook of your arm per se. Now the black bag is from 1994 and the monogram bag is from 2002. So these are both really old. So here they are in the mod shots. So we've got side view, crossbody view. Now for those who are curious, here are the dimensions side by side. You can see the Monceau is a little bit wider and a little bit taller. Next up, the Pochette Metis East-West. This is another very popular variation of the Pochette Metis, and this is currently being sold for $3,330 US on the Louis Vuitton website. Now these are my vintage alternatives. I've got 2 of them. This is called the Pochette Kourad, which is actually a vintage men's line. And this is the Sellier Dragonne, which is also another vintage men's line. So both of these are actually clutches, and I have modified them to be able to add a crossbody strap. So here I punched holes in the back and added these D-rings. Now this is a 1997 piece that I got for $120 US. Whereas for this one, I've added a purse organizer that has loops so I can hook a strap. This is a 1994 piece, which I got for about $250 US. Now, both of these compared to the price of the Pochette Metis East-West is about 90% off. So that's a huge savings by getting the look for less. So they did require modification though to be able to add a strap to it. Now they are also both leather lined, unlike the Pochette Metis. Now in terms of the sizing, so for the Kourad, I have the dimensions here compared to the Pochette Metis East-West. So you can see it's wider and taller. Same for the Sellier Dragonne. It is also wider and taller. But you can see the Sellier Dragonne it's not quite as tall as the Kourad, but it's nearly the same width as the Kourad. The Neverfull this is like a quintessential Louis Vuitton bag. But instead of buying that, I got a vintage bag instead. Introducing my Sac PM. This is a 1989 piece that I got for about $450 US. That's like 80% cheaper than the Neverfull. Massive savings here. And you also have a more unique bag because this is not vachetta, it is coated leather, meaning it's going to be weather resistant, unlike a Neverfull where the vachetta can get water stains, etc. So this is what it looks like here. Front and back both have this huge pocket, which a Neverfull doesn't have outside pockets. 2 rolled handles, called rolled like how a Speedy has rolled handles. So it is thicker than a Neverfull. Top zip which some of the new iterations of the Neverfull have it, but the typical Neverfull does not have a top zip. And it is leather lined, unlike the fabric lining of a Neverfull. So this I either wear on the shoulder, or I will add a strap and then I'll wear this crossbody like what I'm showing you in the mod shots here. And it has feet on the bottom. Who doesn't love feet on the bottom? So this is definitely my go-to for a Louis Vuitton tote. So comparing this to the dimensions of a Neverfull MM, it's definitely wider at the bottom, nearly the same height, but this strap drop is shorter compared to the Neverfull straps. The Pochette Accessoires. Let's start off by talking about the Epi leather one. That's currently on the Louis Vuitton website for $1,610. But what do I have? Two of the vintage ones, and I paid about $130 for both of these. Now the one currently on the website is about 23 centimeters. This vintage one is a 22 centimeter. This vintage one is like a 24 centimeter. So I guess it's kind of in between. Now this yellow color one, this is called Teal Yellow. Now this is a 2000s piece, the year 2000, and it has this beautiful purple suede interior. And this brown one here is color Kenyan Fawn. That has a brown interior, and that's a 1998 piece. So both of these are very comparable to the current Epi one, but these have gold hardware, whereas the current one has silver hardware. So that is something to note. Now these this one I did get the original short leather strap, but I've taken it off and I've just put my own gold chain strap on there. This one I did not get any strap, so I had to put my own strap on there. So these I either wear crossbody or long shoulder bags. I don't really double them up as short shoulder bags. Now here are the dimensions of these bags compared to the one on the current website. You can see they're very similar. It's just either a little bit shorter or a little bit longer. That's basically it. Now the Pochette Accessoires monogram, I have a bit of an interesting alternative for this one. So the monogram Pochette Accessoires currently on the Louis Vuitton website for $1,710, but instead I bought this bag. This is called a Louis Vuitton Marley Bandouliere. Now this is a really old vintage version. They have other versions that you'll find pre-loved, but this is the really, really old pre-date code version. And I specifically picked this because it doesn't have vachetta. It has the coated pigskin leather. And I just want an easy fuss-free bag, and sometimes vachetta is just too stressful. So this is a pre-1980s bag because it's pre-date code. And I bought this for $250. Now, it's also leather lined, just like many of my other vintage bags. I love that about the vintage bags, they're leather lined. Now you don't get any interior pockets. It's literally just one zip. The strap is connected front and back, not on the sides. So that's something a little bit different. And it comes with a long crossbody strap. And this is those really old Louis Vuitton clasps here. It's like not the lobster claw that they use now. So I'll just show you some mod shots. And I'll show you the dimensions of the bag side by side. So this is a little bit shorter compared to a Pochette Accessoires, about the same width, and also a little bit shorter this way as well. The Speedy 30, a classic Louis Vuitton staple bag. Now the bandouliere version is currently going for $2,030 on the website. And this is my vintage alternative. This is called the Sac Bandouliere 30. This is another bag that I own that's pre-date code, so it's pre-1980s. So it is also a size 30 bag. Now this bag can be short shoulder or long shoulder. It's got holes that give you both configuration. It's got the coated pigskin leather, not vachetta, so it's all weather resistant, no fuss, no muss. This one can get wet, no problem. Really thick canvas. Leather lined interior is what I love about the vintage bags. And I only paid $150 for this. Now I'll just show you the dimensions of these side by side. So they're both 30 centimeters, but this one is a little bit shorter and much thinner compared to a Speedy. But this is like really nice and sturdy bottom, like semi-solid, like it really holds its structure. So sometimes I'll stuff this, take it with me on an airplane, and I'll put it under the seat in front of me and just use it as like a footrest. That's how hard wearing it is. I'm using my Louis Vuitton as a footrest. The Dauphine MM. The Dauphine has been a really popular bag over the last 5 years. The MM size is currently on the Louis Vuitton website for $4,150. But instead of that, I have the Louis Vuitton Sac Vendome. So this is a bag that is also pre-date code, so also before 1980s, with the treated pigskin leather as well. And very similar to the Dauphine, you have this rectangular structure. You have a flap. Now, instead of the LV lock, you have a turn lock. When you open her up, it is accordion style, similar to the Dauphine. This is leather lined, which unlike the current bag, like the Dauphine, you can have a short strap orientation or a long strap. So I'll show you here in the mod shots. Now I'll show you the dimensions side by side. So this is a bit wider than the Dauphine, a little bit taller than the Dauphine, but the width is nearly the same. And the strap drop also a bit shorter than the Dauphine. And I paid $600 for this one. Louis Vuitton's Posh Toilette, or the Toiletry pouch. This is a toiletry pouch that so many people have hacked into a handbag that Louis Vuitton ended up releasing like a handbag version of it. But instead of paying $1,150 for it, like what it's priced at on the Louis Vuitton website, I bought the vintage men's version, which is called the Pochette Homme. And this is in epi leather. They do make a monogram as well, but I chose epi leather. And this was about $120. And this is a 1998 epi leather piece. So to make it into a handbag, I'm using the handbag organizer with D-ring so I can attach a strap. It has a front pocket, unlike the Toiletry pouch, which does not have a front pocket. And it has an internal slip pocket here, all leather lined. So if you get any spills or whatever, it just cleans up really nice and easy. So if we compare the dimensions, this is longer than a Toiletry pouch, but also a bit shorter than a Toiletry pouch. Very similar width, but this is much stiffer compared to the canvas Toiletry pouch. The Samur BB, this is currently $2,270 on the US website, and it was a bag that was heavily trending. I only spent $250 and got this St. Cloud PM. And not only did I have a St. Cloud PM, I've got 2 St. Cloud GMs. That's 3 St. Clouds altogether, but the PM is the closest in size to the Samur BB. So that was about $250, that was about $250, and then I think this one was about $400. Now this one, the PM one, is pre-date code, so that's pre-1980s. This monogram GM is a 1992 piece, and this one's a 1994 piece. Now if you compare the prices of these St. Clouds compared to a Samur BB, that's like 90% savings. I'll show you the mod shots of these. So this is what it looks like as a side bag and also crossbody. Now I'm just showing you them side by side since they're the same bag. Now bear in mind, if you want to see a comparison between the PM size and the GM size, I actually have a dedicated video for that comparison, which I'll link below as well, because sometimes it's hard to know which is the right size to buy. So just to compare the sizes, the PM St. Cloud is a little bit shorter in the length compared to the Samur BB, but it is a bit taller and the thickness is about the same. Now, if you just want to see a quick comparison between the size of the GM and the PM, I have it here. So the GM is nearly 8 centimeters longer in the bottom. The Alma backpack. This is another piece that was trending when it first came out and is currently on the Louis Vuitton website for $3,050. But instead of that, I bought this, which is the Mabillon backpack. So this is a 2001 piece, which I paid $400 for, which is like 85% off. Now this has this sort of turtle shell type shape, back zippered pocket. The straps are not detachable, but you can adjust them along the bottom here. It has a very secure zip, so secure that you actually have to move the straps out of the way to unzip it. It has an Alcantara lining with 1 internal slip pocket, or also a D-ring inside there. So I'll just show you the mod shots. This I just literally just wear as a backpack. I don't really have any other way of wearing it. Now here's the dimensions. So you can see it is longer along the bottom. It is taller in height, but it's actually a little bit thinner than the Alma backpack. Madeleine MM, this is a handbag that's going for $3,050 on the website at the moment. And instead of buying that, I have the vintage Louis Vuitton Concorde. So this is a 1995 piece that I paid $260 for. And that's a 90% off savings compared to the Madeleine. Now this one does not come with a crossbody strap, so I have to clip my own crossbody strap to it, but it is like an accordion style bag with the S-lock front. You guys know I love an S-lock. So that's the opening there, black leather lining, unlike today's bags which have Alcantara lining. I did have to clean out the sticky pockets though. If you guys need to know how to clean out sticky pockets from vintage Louis Vuitton bags, I'll link the tutorial down below as well. This is like my grandma bag. And I guess the Madeleine kind of looks like a grandma bag too. So here are the mod shots. So I'll show you what it looks like without the long strap that I attach and with the long strap that I attach. It is taller and not quite as thick as the Madeleine. Now, I also believe the top handle is longer than the Madeleine as well. The Pochette Felicie. This is a staple Louis Vuitton small crossbody bag, and it's $1,630 on the US website. But instead of that, I have this. This is the Bordeaux GM size. There is also a PM size, but I bought the GM size. And this is a 1992 piece that I bought for $300 US. This is a flat bag similar to the Felicie. Inside is leather lined, because you know these days bags are not leather lined, they're all fabric lined. It has a detachable straps. Unlike the Felicie, which is clipped on, these are snap buttons. It is coated leather, so not vachetta, so no fuss, no muss. It has a big wide back pocket here, and surprisingly this back pocket did not peel or get sticky, luckily. And then it has an internal zippered pocket. That one did get sticky, unfortunately. I had to clean that one out. So that's what it looks like from the side. So you can take off the strap, wear it as a clutch, or keep the strap and wear it on the bag, like what I've got in the mod shots here. Now if we compare the dimensions, now bear in mind this is the GM size. So it is longer along the bottom compared to the Felicie, and also taller in height, nearly the same width. Now that was 16 bags that were luxury dupes for current LV bags. Now I'll show you the other 4 bags remaining in my collection. So this is the Louis Vuitton Boetie, and this was my first successful pre-loved Louis Vuitton purchase ever. And I got this from eBay. I paid 650 Australian dollars, so about 400 to 500 US dollars. And this is a vachetta bag, and it does stress me out, so I don't really wear it that often. And it is a bag that I have made these modifications to. I just added these straps on myself so I could wear it as a shoulder bag, because it is actually just a handheld bag. I know it's not the best looking modification, kind of looks a bit tacky and ugly, I know. But at the moment, it was the most functional way of modifying it that I could think of that doesn't damage the bag, because I wanted all 4 grommets to be equally weight loading, and I wanted to be able to have the handle put down. So it's got those old lady pleats, this really old clasp that Louis Vuitton no longer uses. It's Alcantara lining and done up by a top zip with feet on the bottom. This is called the Montaigne clutch, or Pochette Montaigne. This is a 1992 men's piece that I got for about $120. It was in junk condition, and I purposely bought it like this because I was going to practice modifying a bag by punching holes. So I didn't want to punch holes in a really good bag. And the snap button is really loose. So I actually dropped some glue in there. I saw it on a website, and it actually helped make the clasp a bit tighter. But yeah, so this is a men's style. Actually, all 4 of these are men's pieces. So the Kourad, the Montaigne, the Pochette Homme, and the Sellier Dragonne are all men's lines. This is the Sac Friedland. This is an epi leather bag, and this is a bag that you can do short shoulder configuration or long shoulder configuration. It's a 1991 piece that I bought for $450 US. Now there is some wear on the straps, unfortunately, so I do have to kind of be mindful of that. It has a turn lock, leather lined interior. You guys know I love the vintage leather lined interior. It did have a sticky pocket, which I did have to clean out. Kind of accordion style. So that's it for all of my 20 bags. Now I'll show you my 4 pairs of shoes. They're actually all kind of the same shoe, just in different iterations. So I'm obsessed with Louis Vuitton driving shoes. So I have these 2 exact pair, navy and brown. So what I didn't realize is driving shoes aren't walking shoes. You're not meant to wear them for walking, so I've kind of worn them out by walking in them all the time. And here I have a Suhali leather version, and here I have a patent leather version, but they're literally all the same shoe. So this is my Louis Vuitton Kisslock wallet. It's my only Louis Vuitton SLG, and it has a clasp here, all leather interior, 4 card slots. So this is my own one and only Louis Vuitton SLG. I'm not really a big SLG person. And finally, my Louis Vuitton top. Now the tag, oh no, the tag's come off. Oh, that's not good. So this is a cashmere purple and pink short sleeve knitted top. And it has Louis Vuitton embroidered here. But that's a shame about that tag flopping over like that. I might have to do something about that. So I think if I was to guess how much money I'd spent total on Louis Vuitton, now mind you, these are all pre-loved pieces, I would say $15,000 to $18,000, and that's collecting for 6 years. So what do you think? Let me know what you think of my collection. Let me know what you think, the fact that they're all secondhand, they're all used, vintage. Even the shoes are used in vintage. Let me know what you think about that topic, whether you're like, oh, no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't buy someone's secondhand shoes. And let me know about what the price you think I've spent overall. So 6 years of collecting, I spent 15 to 18,000 Australian dollars. All the prices I told you earlier were US dollars, but total I spent was 15 to 18,000 Australian dollars over 6 years. And let me know what your favorite piece from my collection was. Now, if you guys haven't already seen my latest unboxing, I'm going to leave it here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.